Professor G.M. Shah, Co-Chairman Dr. Ajmal, respected teachers, participants, research scholars, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good afternoon. I am speaking on the topic Otrar in Kazakhstan, the place on the Silk Route which changed the course of history in the 13th century. When we talk of the Silk Route, in Silk Route, 2 P's and 1 C is there. That is what I can say is the hallmark of the Silk Route. It is the first is the people, the place, and the C is the connectivity. I'm talking about the place, about the Otrar. Otrar is a place in the medieval period, a very famous town on the Silk Route, which was known as on the right banks of the river Oxus. And this is also known to the Arab sources as Faryab, because the greatest philosopher and the genius, Al-Farabi, Central Asia has created so many personalities. Imam Bukhari, Ibn Sina, Ibn Razi, and the famous geographer, Yaqut Hamawi, who has written the Majmul Buldan. I will tell you about the political scenario at the Central Asia at the time. There were the powers, 4 powers were at the time. The Mongols, the Khwarazm Shah, the Karakhitai, the Kurluks, and the Uyghurs, which one Dr. Dibata was telling about. The Uyghur, it's one of the 3 major cities were very neighborly, Kashgar, Yargan, and Khotan. And at that time, the center was Turfan, because Turfan on the upper side of the Taklamakan desert, Taklamakan is in Xinjiang province where the Chinese go do the underground nuclear testing, and the place is called the Loknar. About the Mongols, in 2006, Genghis Khan consolidated his empire, unified the Mongolian tribes, and he was given the title as Genghis Khan, means the Khan of Khans. Then became an unparalleled wave of conquests. He took over as China and all the other different types. When Beijing was taken, at that time it was the first contact of the Genghis Khan with the civilized world, because Mongols were and still are nomads this time, but at that time they were purely nothing about the sedentary way of life. Genghis Khan became aware of the power on the western side, and the westernward expansion would yield more wealth that already at hand in China, but the risks by undertaking such an adventure were incalculable and quite possibly disastrous. And after that he issued a Yasa. Yasa means the laws promulgated by the Genghis Khan, which is known in the sources as Yasai Chengizi. That means we have to secure the highways. Keeping this thing in view, the Khwarezmian trade delegation was set up to be to the Mongol court, which was comprising of very famous at that time person known as Ahmad. He was from the Tajikistan. It was not Urgant. It's Patna Sahib settled called as Leninabad.
No.
It's not. Khojan. It's called settled as Leninabad this time.
Not
Khojan this time. It was a Khojan that the delegation reached the
time it was Leninabad.
Previously. Thanks. And this delegation was with a lot of merchandise, was mainly other things, was the gold embroidered fabric, cotton, because Central Asia is very famous for producing cotton, and the Zannichi was a famous cloth which was produced at that time in Zandan, is a very place near to Bukhara. On arrival, the trade delegation was given a very warm welcome. Their stay was made very comfortable. And what you see as that today a dignitary comes, it is given a red carpet welcome. The same was given at that time to the delegation from the Khwarezm Shah. A white felt tent was erected in their honor. Sources are very silent about the duration of these delegation at that time. There is their stay in Mongol court. But when they came that it was time to go there, the Genghis Khan decided that he ordered for his sons, his noyans, his commanders, that you have to give spare 1 balish and 3 persons. Because they have trade delegation of this. Balish was, exchange rate was 1 balish for gold embroidered 1 balish, and for the cotton it was 1 balish of silver. It was the currency at that time. When the trade delegation was formulated, it comprised of 450 persons, mostly Muslims, that they have to go to the court of the Khwarizm Shah, and the message was sent by the Genghis Khan was that merchants from your country have come among us, and we have sent them back in the manner that you shall hear. On reaching this place, where I am discussing at this time, Otrar, the governor of that province was Ghair Khan, and he became suspicious of their ulterior motive is what was in his mind, God knows better, but he accuses them of espionage, and he ordered his arrest and sent the approval to the Sultan Khwarizm Shah. Without thinking, that he ordered that the booty should be seized and they should be executed. He was signing the death sentence of his own family and the persons, whole Central Asia at that time. This time, the Genghis Khan said that only 1 person escaped from there, and he reached there after months of hardships, reached the Mongol court and narrated what has happened in the Otrar to Genghis Khan. And Genghis Khan, being a shamanist, he went to the hilltop and said, the Tingri, Mongols are called God as Tingri. Tingri and Tingr. Still in their constitution there is a word in Tingr. He said, "O Tingr, give me strength to take vengeance, because I am not responsible for the trouble that is coming here." Before that, and he marched the Otrar, which was famous town in regard to agriculture, with regard to horticulture, and with regard to the brisk trade and commerce, was devastated. And this Ghair Khan was executed, and commanders, Genghis Khan sent his 2 famous commanders, Jubi Noyan and Subutai, in pursuit of Genghis Khan, and this in pursuit of Khwarizm Shah. And this Khwarizm Shah has no place to hide, and at last he died in a remote island of the Caspian Sea. And see the fate of the Khwarizm Sultan. His realm was from the Persian Gulf up to the Turkestan, and from Kabul, Herat up to the Caucasus, and he was buried without जो कफन भी उसको नसीब नहीं हो गया. ये थी इस्माइल की. इस तरह ये बात कि उन्होंने जिस तरह से उसको नज़रअंदाज किया. Now I want to say that had the Sultan, had the governor paid heed from the message of the Genghis Khan for cordial relations, to live with good neighbor relations, to have trade and commerce, this could have not happened. This is because of the arrogance. In arrogance in 13th century, exactly 800 years has happened to this. This happened in 12,020. Started with 12,018 and culminated in 2020. Now we have exactly 800 years of this episode, what incident has happened in Central Asia. And this reminds us of the arrogance. And arrogance leads to nowhere. If we think of the arrogance of today and last century, this century, what the downfall of the Saddam Hussein. See the downfall of the Adolf Hitler. He was requested repeatedly by his commanders not to open 3 fronts, but he ignored all the even nobody knows the dead body of the Adolf Hitler. In conclusion, I should say that the revival of Silk Route historical contemporary relations settle there. अगर रास्ते खुल जाएंगे, दिल मिल जाएंगे. अगर रास्ते खुल जाएंगे, एक दूसरे से लोग मिलते रहेंगे. There will be a flow of ideas. There will be flow of trade and commerce. जो बिछड़े हुए हैं वो अपने बन जाएंगे. इस वजह से ये आज भी रेलेवेंस है. आज भी इसकी रेलेवेंस उतनी ही है. This is very important because अगर हम यहाँ के आज की तरफ इसकी तरफ नहीं देखेंगे, हम रेलेवेंस को आज भी इतना रेलेवेंट इस सेमिनार के हिसाब से और इस टॉपिक के हिसाब से ये हमारे लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है. क्योंकि मोहब्बत और सबसे ज़्यादा जो जिम्मेदारी होती है वो जिम्मेदारी इसी पे है, कलम और ज़ुबान पे. कलम और जुबान पे यही है कि उखुवत मिलनसारी को हम बढ़ावा दे दें, क्योंकि लव बिगेट्स लव, हेट्रेड बिगेट्स हेट्रेड, एंड इट विल नीड्स नोवेयर दिस। माय लास्ट मोहब्बत आम, तो फरिश्ते भी अब फरिश्ते मोहब्बत से करो इख्तिताम, तो अजनबी भी अपने हो जाते हैं। मोहब्बत से करो आगाज, तो जिसको क्योंकि मोहब्बत से ही फरिश्ते सर झुकाते हैं।